and got my beautiful wife there. She's just got out of the water. Got some of my colleagues up inside and my nephew. So we're just hanging out. Just a really intimate group today. And we'll go in and just get a little feel. But remember, like what this is about, right? When we start talking about I'll give y'all a little look at what we're kind of looking at. Like we just get a chance to just chill. We're just chilling out here today. But I'll give you a little bit of tour of what we're doing. But it's just, again, being able to enjoy these kinds of things with the work that you're putting in, helping others. And so but if when we start talking about just family financial freedom, right, and having a vehicle that allows us to be able to do that, where we're not having to punch a clock 24 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Like when you're able to escape that, it gives so much room to now like use this thing that God gave us, right? Just use this thing that God gave us. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I was up at, what time was I up this morning? I think 4:30 this morning. I was up at 4:30 this morning. And you know what I got up doing? First thing I did is I got up, I got into the Word, I prayed, got into the Word, and then I got on my face. I was praying because there's a lot going on right now. Like, Lord's really blessing us with a whole lot of opportunities, but I have to be grounded so that, and I have to pray a lot for that wisdom, because, and recognize that it ain't about me. It's about what He's allowing me to be, to steward. And so the wisdom that we get has to come from Him. It ain't how smart or how great I am. Believe me, like none of this stuff is possible without Him. And so for you, it's the same thing. Like many people, it's such a chore to finally be able to break away, right, from the thing that's that's had us in bondage, financial bondage, because we don't know that there are other ways to do it. We've seen other people, but we think, oh, that maybe he's different, or maybe she's different, or they just in different situations. Like, and when you're in that situation, then like I'll just tell you, here's the secret: pray. Just pray about it, because like I was reading this morning, I was in Genesis today, and I was reading about Joseph. And I was sharing with my wife. I was reading about Joseph and how when Joseph got sold by his brothers to the Midianites and was taken to Egypt, he ended up going into Potiphar's house. So Potiphar bought him from there, and because the Lord was with Joseph, everything that he did in Potiphar's house was blessed. Like Potiphar gave him control over everything of his home, because the Lord was with Joseph, and Joseph was blessed because of that. And he knew it. Like he didn't say, oh, I'm this great this or great that. He knew it was God. And then when Potiphar's wife went at him, right, and tried to get him to have relations with her, you know what he said? Joseph said, wait. He said, I'm in my master's home, he has no clue about anything that's going on, because he's entrusted it to me. He's entrusted all of this stuff to me. He said, and for me to do something like that with you, like the only thing I can't touch in this home is you. Sounds like Adam, right? Adam and Eve. Like you had the whole garden. There's just one thing that the Lord said, don't touch or you will die. which was what? Which was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? So Potiphar, the only thing that Joseph couldn't touch was just his wife. Everything else he had reign over in the house. So the wife didn't like it, right? And the wife, you know the story, the wife lied on him and told him that because Joseph, here, no, let me go back. But this is what Joseph said. He said that would be, and I'm gonna paraphrase, but it would be wicked in God's eyes. Like he mentioned Potiphar, but he ended in saying it would be, and I hate the fact that I'm paraphrasing because like it was so much more powerful. In fact, give me a minute because I want to just go get the word. Honey, don't let my thing, because I want to read it. Hold on. I'll be back in a minute. I just want to share. I'm live on IG, and I want to share a verse that I read this morning, and what I want to share. Let's see. All right. Hopefully, I didn't lose y'all. All right. Okay. So I'm back. Right. I'm back. So let's see. So let me read exactly what he said, because it gets back to like where it all comes from. And he said, this is what he said. He said in 39, in Genesis 39, verse 7, he says, and it came to pass, no, verse 8 says, yeah, so verse 7, and it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast longing eyes on Joseph, and she said, lie with me. But he refused and said to his master's wife, look, my master does not know what is with me in the house, and he has committed all that he has to my hand. There is no one greater in this house than I, nor has he kept back anything from me but you, because you are his wife. He says, now, here's the thing I'm talking about. He says, how then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? Because he recognized that the reason why Potiphar gave him all that he gave him was because, not because he was all that Joseph was all that, because God blessed him. Because God blessed him. And then what happened? So what happened next was she did this, she lied on him, and then Joseph got thrown in jail by Potiphar because she lied and said that he tried to rape her. Now, there's a couple different there's a lot of people that will say, well, Potiphar really didn't believe his wife or he would have had him killed. So that's one version. That's one version of why he didn't have him killed. But I submit to you that it was for something different. And let me tell you what I submit, because this is what it says after he threw him in jail. He says, so it was in verse 19, so it was when his master heard the words which his wife spoke to him, saying, your servant did to me what his servant did to him. Potiphar's anger was aroused. Then Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were confined. So technically, like, he would have had him killed, but if he believed that he did. So many people say he must not have believed him, but this is what I submit that why he didn't. And it could have been that, but this is why I submit. He says, and he was in prison, but here it is, the Lord was with Joseph and showed him mercy, and he gave him favor. So whatever it was the Lord's doing. Like there was a reason why the Lord wanted him to go and spend that time there. And then when he got there, what happened then? I'm going somewhere with this. I am going somewhere with this, right? So when he got there, what happened? He said, the keeper of the prison did not look into anything that was under Joseph's authority because the Lord was with him. And whatever he did, the Lord made it prosper. So right there, even in prison, like soon as he got there, now he was actually like the head guy inside of that place. So I'm saying all this to say, and then eventually, Pharaoh himself actually got word of who Joseph was and that he had an anointing in a certain area, in that case, to interpret dreams. And so he called for Joseph, and because he had this dream, and Joseph not only interpreted his dream, but Joseph used God's wisdom. Oh, hold on, back up. Not only did he interpret his dream, but when Pharaoh said, hey, I have a dream for you to interpret, what did Joseph say? This is what Joseph said. He said, this is what Joseph said. He said, when Pharaoh asked him, he said, hey, Pharaoh said to Joseph, I have had a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it, but I have heard it said that you can understand a dream to interpret it. And Joseph wasn't like, yo, I'm all that. This is what Joseph said. So Joseph answered Pharaoh and said, it is not in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer of peace. So he gave God the credit and God the glory because he recognizes that all these gifts and the things that he has it because the Lord has blessed him with it. Like, and then not only did he interpret the dream for Pharaoh, but Pharaoh, he gave Pharaoh the answer to what he should do about the dream that was showing him that they're going to go into famine in 7 years, but they're going to have a big prosperous 7 years first. And he gave him wisdom to talk to him, to tell him what he should do as king. And Pharaoh was like, what? Hold up. You said I should hire some guys to manage this whole thing for me, but who here, and he even asked all his people, he said, who here has the wisdom of this man? And no, everyone said no one. And literally like that, now Pharaoh made Joseph, who was in prison just the day before, he gave him his signet ring, he rose him to the second highest powerful place in the whole kingdom. Under only one higher than him was Pharaoh himself. So I share all that again to say this. If anybody is out there and you desire, right, if you desire to have the freedom for your family, if you desire to be able to break away from the things that's keeping you from the gift that God has blessed you with, that's keeping you from the desire, the seed of desire that he's given you for your family, for your life, what I'm going to say is pray. I trust him. Just trust him. Pray, but then you got to take action. You got to take action. Just like with Joseph, God put people in his path for a reason. God's putting people in your path for a reason. But if you're doing a whole lot of running around, listen to the wrong things, listen to the wrong people, then you won't hear the calling that he has for you, the direction that he has for you. And so, yes, I was up at 4:30 this morning because I knew I was going to be doing some of this stuff today, and I just wanted to be with him first, right? So I could hear, because there's so much going on, and I know it ain't about my wisdom. Like I got students, people that, you know, a number of people from different parts of the world who are coming because they, you know, they know that when it comes to Airbnb and Airbnb passive income, you know, how my family and I, we've made millions of dollars, how I show people how to do that, making millions of dollars, being able to do that, go from zero to, you know, building their $1 million portfolio in 90 days. Like we do that hands free almost. And so with the things that he's helping us, showing me, and the people that he's bringing, like, it ain't about how smart I am. It ain't about how hard I work. It's about the wisdom that he's given me, and the heart, the resources that he's given me, and the heart that he's given me to share and serve the people that he's sending to me to share, so that he can be honored. So I just want to hopefully that was helpful. If that was helpful, just type in the chat helpful if it was helpful. And if there's, like, if you think this is beautiful, type in the chat, God is awesome, because I ain't, he is. If you think this is beautiful, just type in the chat, God is awesome. If you think she's beautiful, don't type anything in the chat, because I'm going to get you. All right. And then that's Captain Nick. You can say hey to Captain Nick. That's Captain Nick. And then so I'll take you a little bit through our yacht a little bit. You can see. And I'll just, if you like it, just, so we down here just kind of chilling. We got some subs and some, let's see what we got here. We got just some snacks, some Scooby snacks, some subs, and oh, that's my nephew Michael. And then you got my brother Leon. Leon is the head of the real estate investment group here in this region. He's been doing that stuff for ages. The man is, he's a wizard when it comes to real estate and business. And like, there are so many people out in the market that have had a ton of success because God put him in their lives. And so we're just hanging out, just he and I just chilling. His wife didn't come, so I'm a little, Leon's only like a quarter of the person he is without Mary Jane with him. Not even a half, just a quarter, because she makes up, she's the one, right? So
I definitely agree with that.
He agrees with that, right?
So I've been married for a while, so I know I better agree with that
too. So if y'all don't know, he's in the name of the real estate group here in this region, because I'm back in New York just for another couple of weeks before I head back out to Florida. But it's called FREIA, and that's Freedom First Real Estate Investment Association. Correct, right? And you got how many members you got there?
So we sort of divide things up, but the simple answer would be something around 500.
500 members, right? And got members doing all kinds of stuff. So if y'all don't know who FREIA is, go ahead and type that stuff and look them up in Facebook. I know they got a Facebook page. I know they got a website. But this man is a genius. If you don't know him, he's a genius. And oh, by the way, all right, now I'm about to get real on y'all, okay? So, and I'm about to share some stuff that some people don't know. Only like my closest people will know this. So, I've had a lot of success when it comes to Airbnb. A lot of success. And like Airbnb passive income is the reason why I was able to like break out of traditional real estate. Like, I don't do rentals. I used to have over 250 units in my portfolio, dealing with all the tenant drama. I used to do flips and rehabs, had construction projects all over the place going. I had 50 people working for me. I had all kinds of construction crews. It was fun in the beginning. It was fun in the beginning, and I made a lot of money, but I didn't, I was never around. I was so busy. I couldn't do that forever. Eventually, after the market crash, y'all probably already know, after the market crash, like, I lost $1 million. I had to lick my wounds, rebuild. But when I started rebuilding, I was rebuilding, and I just had this taste in my mouth that that's not really what I wanted to do again. Not the same way. And then eventually, as I got into homeless ministry, and I did that for like 5-6 years, and that's what the Lord called me to do. And then that's when I kind of started building a relationship with more relationship with Leon. And then we started talking about Airbnb, the Airbnb thing, because I was already doing some stuff. I was already doing some Airbnb, but we were talking about taking it national and doing a bunch of stuff nationally. And this guy, like, Leon he's a former engineer for Kodak. And so his brain just works in this way that most people's brains just don't work. And we were just going through and looking at all these programs, ways we could kind of do this thing and roll it out, nationally. And so, but like eventually what I did, like, we kind of stopped having those meetings, and eventually I just launched a course. But like he was the person that introduced me to people that helped me to really just focus. Once I launched the course, to just focus on my course and not so that I could really get out of the traditional real estate. So I built a bunch of, picked up a bunch of Airbnbs, a lot more. And then, I was able to focus because I had a lot of the passive income coming in. But he connected me with a guy that helped me, that I borrowed some money. It was hard money. And like, it gave me, like, I wasn't even concerned about the points and all that stuff. I just wanted not to have to think about, like, wanted an extra bit of cushion, because like I told everybody that was on my staff for the next year, like, you can't, like, I'm not meeting with you. I won't be talking to you on the phone. I won't be meeting with you, because our plan was we were going to go to Spain, my wife and I. She wanted to go to Spain. We're going to live in Spain for a year. And I was like, if I can't do this remotely while I'm here, then I won't be able to do it remotely while I'm in Spain in a year. So it allowed me to focus in on not like dealing with tenants or anything, because I knew I was going to have to, I was going to lose a little bit, like transitioning everything. And so that little bit of cushion helped me to make some changes. And then, like, within the next year and a half or so, I paid that I think it was just $100,000. I paid it off. But now I had a business, my coaching business, along with my Airbnbs, where, like, literally that first year, I think I made like 250,000, and then the next year 1.4 million, and then anyway, the whole point is, this guy is a genius. Like, just a lot of things that we talked about just helped me to recognize some things. So from a connections perspective and from a ingenuity perspective, like, if you don't know him, you probably need to get to. And if y'all do know him and he's helped you, and you haven't acknowledged, right? Then anyway, that's between you and him, right? So anyway, so with that, let me finish showing y'all around, bro. I love you. All right. So this is one of the bedrooms in here as well. So that way you can kind of see the bed. So this is a bedroom and a bath. So I don't know if any of y'all have been on. So this is a smaller yacht. Like, I was on one a few weeks ago, and it had a ballroom in it. Like, this thing was like a cruise ship. It was just crazy amazing, and it was just a bunch of us higher level. Like, there was probably like 50 of us on it, and like all multi-millionaires. It was pretty cool. And so this one is only a 2-bedroom. So here again, so the second bedroom is here, and then this is kind of cool. So you got lights and stuff. You got another bed, and then you got a bath and I think a shower in here too. Yeah, so there's a bath and a shower, so you can see what these look like. So it's kind of cool, right? If you've never been on a yacht before, it's cool. If you haven't been on a yacht, like I could tell you, one of the things I would just say is this. Like, why do we do this? First of all, I do it because I love just hanging out on the water. I love hanging out with my wife, and I love hanging out with other high-level people that, you know, that have a heart for family and understand financial freedom and building generational wealth and changing generational cycles. So my thing is, I know that when I'm around more people like that, I just get better. So we make each other better. And that's the reason why we do this stuff. The reason why we fly around on private jets and things like that, because that's who's there, right? And so I'll show you a little bit more, and then, oh yeah, we're moving now. So we're moving a little bit here. Y'all haven't seen this, so we're kind of moving. All right, so y'all haven't seen, so now we're getting, where are we going?
We're heading out to Lake Ontario right now.
All right.
In Irondequoit Bay.
All right, so nice shirt. Nice shirt. See my shirt? Beautiful shirt. It's nice. It's beautiful. So anyway, I wanted to just share with y'all, and I'm gonna get off now. But I wanted to share, and prayerfully, what I was sharing about Joseph, and like this stuff is possible, right? I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. And I was probably the most unlikely person. I was probably the most unlikely person to be able to do this kind of stuff, right? And I didn't come from a background, like I grew up poor. No, I'm sorry. I grew up po. I say po instead of poor because like we couldn't even afford the O and the R at the end of that. Like, and I like to joke about that, but serious, it was bad compared to the way my kids and my family live today. It was bad. And I know, you know, and it wasn't because my mom didn't try. It wasn't because she didn't want better. But remember what I talked about, being around the right people that are doing the things. And also, and this ain't, I'm not, like I love my mother, God rest her soul. But also, as I shared the story about Joseph, Joseph also had a father, Jacob, who also had a father, Isaac, who also had a father, Abraham. And then you go all the way up the lineage, who acknowledged, who followed, who trusted, who feared, who loved the King of Glory, Jesus Christ, God himself. And because they did, they obeyed, they submitted, they yielded to him, he made a promise that their descendants will be blessed. If you want your descendants blessed, if you want to be blessed, and you want your kids and their kids' kids and their kids' kids' kids, then just submit. Like, I ain't trying to convert nobody. I'm just saying that's what, like, my life is different. My kids and my family's life is different because we have. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. And that's it. So if I'm going to, listen, here's the thing. Like, if I'm trying to be honest with y'all about, like, real estate and lifestyle and freedom, and I leave that part out, I'm going to tell you I'm being fake and I'm being phony and I'm trying to scam you. Right? Because if I leave that out, none of this stuff happens. That's not who I, like, none of this stuff would exist if I left that stuff out. So I won't ever. He says, acknowledge me in all your ways and I shall direct your paths. Lord, I'm going to acknowledge you in all my ways. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful. God bless you guys. I'll be sharing some stuff with you later. We also have another mastermind coming up. Not mastermind. We have another yacht day coming up later on this week. So, and I'll have a number of students that are flying in from that as well. But hopefully this was kind of cool. Hopefully it was cool and hopefully it was helpful. So God bless you. And if it was and you want some help, like, just hit me up in the DM and I'll send you some free stuff. All right. So God bless you.